Kashmir Igbokwe. He joins us this morning. He is a former editor of Sunday Punch. He is a member of the editorial board of The Sun and his editor-in-chief, Newsprobe. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Ayo.
Okay. Well, you probably will be able to tell us how come some of these headlines come the way they do. New Telegraph this morning, for instance, is the first one we are looking at. Of course, you know the story that is making the round. Electoral Act, that's the lead of the New Telegraph this morning. Senate makes U-turn, shelves plan to override Buhari. That's what the paper leads with this morning. Plans to consult constituents. House of Reps adjourns plenary until January 18. Lawmakers may abandon move entirely, say analysts. The story is on page 2. What's your take?
Well, it's unfortunate what is going on with regard to the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. Nigerian politicians are very funny people. They don't have the interests of the people at heart. Forget what they are doing currently. The Senate, House of Representatives, they want people to believe that they have their interest at heart, and so they are shouting about direct primaries and all that. But the truth of the matter is that they're all acting based on their selfish interest. The president has refused assent to the bill. He has sent it back to the National Assembly. And the senators, I was laughing yesterday when I read they were punching the air that 73 of them or more than that, have decided to override the president. The crop of senators you see today cannot do that. Not when Ahmed Lawan is there as the president. They are all lackeys to the president. They cannot do anything. They're all trying to pull the wool over the eyes of Nigerians. So be that as it may, the president has his reasons. He said that direct primaries will be expensive. It will pose security risks and all that. Well, for me, there are two options. Either the National Assembly overrides him, or they make the amendment and pass it back to the president. And they have to do that fast, as soon as possible, so that the president will not have any reason to refuse assent to it. You remember in 2018, before the 2019 election, the president refused to sign this bill 3 times in 2018. And currently, with this rejection now, I think it's about 5 times he has rejected this bill. And the main issue, the main thing Nigerians want is the electronic transmission of election results. That is what Nigerians want, so that we will have credible elections.
Well, the president hasn't complained about that once, just about the direct primaries. So as you said, maybe once that adjustment is made, everything else will go okay?
We hope so. We hope so. Remember that last one he refused to assent, giving some flimsy reasons. The National Assembly did the amendment, sent it back to him. He still rejected it, sent it back again, I think like 5 times. And then towards the end of 2018, the reason now came, it's too late to make some of these amendments because we are close to the election time. I hope this is not the game they are planning again.
Okay. Well, everyone is hoping, so nothing wrong with hoping, is there? Well, still on the front page of the New Telegraph this morning, right under the picture, Clerk to Obasanjo, your interventions on Nigeria hypocritical, biased against Niger Delta. One wonders where some of these comments usually come from.
Well, Clark is somebody we all know, he doesn't mince his words, he shoots straight. Obasanjo, yes, to an extent, Clark is correct, he's right. It still goes to what I said earlier about Nigerian politicians. They're all very cunning. When they tell you when they tell you good morning, you need to check your time again to be sure that it is morning. Even at that, Obasanjo is still even better than many of them. Niger Delta, I believe Clark knows why he said so. When Obasanjo was president, I don't know what he did for the Niger Delta. In fact, what I can easily remember now is the invasion of OD in I think it's Bayelsa State, and some other shenanigans he did. You know, it was when Yaradua came in that he tried to douse tension and then created this amnesty program for the Niger Delta. And then since then, you know, Yaradua brought peace, and we had peace in the Niger Delta up until now.
Okay. When
Obasanjo was there, I don't know, he didn't quite impress me about his dealings with the Niger Delta. But, and so coming now to pontificate, you know, Clark is right, you know.
Well, he spent 2 terms, so well, Nigerian News Direct is next now, and it's also interested in the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. Senate delays plan to override Buhari. That's also on the front page, to consult House of Reps. Insecurity, not enough to stop mass participation in elections. That's what you have on the front page of that one. If you look at the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, it's the same thing that you'll find on its front page. Electoral Act Amendment Bill. Senate steps down action to override Buhari. The story is on page 29. To consult with reps. CSOs berate Gbajabiamila, call for his resignation. Saraki calls for action. Tasks National Assembly to override president or remove direct primaries clause. And APC scuttled bill for fear of 2023. That's subscribed to the PDP. Well, I think sometimes it depends on what side of the divide you find yourself.
Exactly, exactly.
Look at some of these issues.
If you are in the opposition party, in PDP, for instance, you'll be shouting, crucify the president, crucify him, crucify him. If you are on the side of APC, you know, you'll be shouting, no, the president is right, the president is right. You know, all over, I can see all over the papers, from different angles, they are taking this Electoral Act Amendment Bill issue. And so, but the key point there is, as I said before, it's all for their selfish interests. And that is why you see different parties aligning, you know, taking different positions. But the point is, what is the position of Nigerians? The majority of Nigerians, I believe, want the thing passed immediately, want the Electoral Act passed immediately. And the president has assured, has promised that he will leave a legacy of credible, free and fair election in this country. And what Nigerians want him to do is just to do that. Lucky enough, he is not contesting this time. So he has no reason. He should not allow his party men, you know, to bulldoze him into rejecting this bill. Nigerians who want this bill passed or signed, it has been passed. Nigerians who want it signed, so that we'll have a credible election in 2023.
That's what everybody wants.
That's what everybody wants. Yeah. Otherwise, whoever does not want that, what is he afraid of? What is the person afraid of?
Well, a sad one you'll find on the front page, or still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. 70 traders feared kidnapped in Kaduna. And you'll find that story on pages 2 and 30 of the paper this morning. Resign now, PDP reps caucus tells Buhari, says Nigeria seized by hostage takers, bandits, terrorists. Well, one can go on and on about this one. However, there's also this very interesting one on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Tension in Magodo estate as landowners move to effect Supreme Court judgment. That story is on page 2. It was quite a raucous one yesterday, and if you look at the pictures on the front page, some people went into the estate, you know, doing all kinds of things. It really took a bulldozer to try to begin to pull down some houses. And what's interesting is that this case dates back more than 30 years, 34 to 38 years. One wonders, it's between the state government and a particular family, and one wonders how come this would drag on for so long.
It's unfortunate, really. It's not the first time. We've had cases, similar cases, especially in Lagos, you know, where land is highly prized. You consider yourself a landlord 30 years after somebody is coming to tell you, due to one court judgment somewhere, probably you also bought the land from government. I mean, it's not tidy. Lagos State government should put his house in order. So many people suffer. I am a landlord in Lagos, for instance, and then I have another land I bought from Lagos State government in Lekki up to today, since 2011, during Fashola's time. Up to today, I don't even know where the land is. And nobody has given me any. I've been asking for CFO, and they keep, at a point, they said, but they place embargo. And then tomorrow now, somebody will come and tell me, oh, it's a land, community land and all that. I mean, it's not tidy. Lagos State government should, tidy up the land processes in Lagos, so that people will not just spend their hard-earned money. At the end of the day, you come to tell them cock and bull stories. It's heart-rending.
Very, very.
Well, say the least.
Let's flip to the Vanguard newspaper this morning. I believe my colleague in Abuja will join us shortly. Electoral Act amendment. Senators have failed to override Buhari's veto. That's on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. You have it there. Say they'll act on Buhari's letter in January, and a plethora of riders to that story right there on the front page of the paper. And right above the nameplate, National Assembly to transmit 2022 budget to Buhari today. That's ascribed to the President of the Senate. Is that comforting for you?
National Assembly to do what?
To transmit 2022 budget to Buhari today.
Today.
The bill has been passed, by the two houses, I believe, and it says we want to maintain that January to December
January
budget
to
cycle.
December
Budget
cycle. Well, it's okay. It's okay. For me, the problem, there's no problem with that. But the budget, one thing is to pass the budget and sign it, another thing is to implement it to the letter. And the problem we've been having is that we don't implement our budget as it should be. Last week or just the other day, the Auditor General of the Nation, of the Federation, released an audit report, indicting many MDAs. Some of them over 300 billion naira was not accounted for, by all these MDAs. And then at the end of the day, you discover that even recurrent expenditure is still higher than capital expenditure. And where are we going? And then we keep borrowing here and there. At the end of the day, certain billions of naira will be mapped out to service the debt. We are mortgaging the future of our children. It's not just to pass the bill. Yes, it will be passed. It's the normal thing to do. But at the end of the day, how will that impact on the lives of Nigerians? That is the question.
Well, a number of other stories on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Police bulldozers withdraw from Magodo estate as government intervenes. That's comforting. And on page 4, FG destroys 1 million doses of AstraZeneca vaccine donated for COVID-19. Well, that's been done, and there are issues about, okay, so how many others do we have now that may or may not expire within the shortest possible time?
Nigerians are even apprehensive. Many people, don't want to take this vaccine. And now with this story of expired vaccine, I bet you that no matter what you do, so many people will not want to go near this vaccine. Forget about what they are saying.
Yeah, but it should be comforting now. At least government is talking about it. It's not talking about it that will be the problem.
Yeah.
And don't also forget, of course, the root of it, the fact that it was almost off the shelf before it was donated to Nigeria.
Yes.
So the fact that government is at least talking to Nigerians about it and giving comfort that it is safe, the ones are in stock are safe, that should be
Will Nigerians believe government? They don't believe government. For them, most Christians in particular will tell you they are covered by the blood of Jesus. And
isn't it the same God that created the scientists?
Exactly. And then you discover that so many people get fake vaccination card purporting to have been vaccinated. Even people up there, I don't want to mention them because I know that people high up there get fake vaccination cards. They don't want to take this vaccine because of some insinuations that the vaccine, I don't know, for whatever reason, people are just being apprehensive about taking this vaccine. So Nigerians should If you have access to the vaccine, please do, take the vaccine. Since government scientists have told us that there's nothing wrong with it to prevent this COVID, fine. And we have all relaxed. Nobody wears nose mask anymore. You go to churches, you go to event centers, you see people mingling and hugging each other without...
Isn't it interesting that you are compelled to wear the mask before you get into the hall, but then in some places when you enter, you will be like, it's a little uncomfortable.
Exactly. You now pull it off, and then you see people wearing it by the chain. It's not how it should be worn.
The Vanguard newspaper has sports on its front page, on its back page. New coach, not Igbokwe, will lead Eagles to Nations Cup. That's ascribed to Pinnick. Details you'll find on the inside pages. Is this any comfort to you?
New coach, well, you know, Nigeria, we don't have confidence in our own local coaches. No matter what Gavon does, Nigeria will not present him as a coach. They will want to get a white man.
It's a little interesting. I mean, for want of a better word, you know, that we'll put it that way, because on the one hand we're saying buy Nigerian,
exactly,
and on the other hand we're saying, I don't know,
foreign goods are better.
The Guardian newspaper is next, and it leads with COVID-19. Nigeria records highest single-day infection. That's what you have on its front page there. 4 deaths, 2,123 new cases as Yuletide festivities heighten. NAFDAC, NPHCDA destroy over 1 million expired vaccines. Delta State reports 395 cases of Omicron variant. Wow. Vaccine inequality, booster programs will prolong pandemic. WHO laments. Concerns as Nigerians may need a 4th dose of vaccine to ensure protection from Omicron. Experts insist country remains vulnerable to massive 4th and more waves. All of that is on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. So we're just talking about this.
We are just talking about this COVID thing. I think what is saving Nigerians largely is our weather, the hot weather. You know, if you go out there and then you sweat and the sun beats you and all that, probably the COVID may not have much effect. Mostly people that suffer this are people in the temperate region and Nigerians who, you know, stay in cozy offices, AC, from AC car like you, from AC car to FC office, and I'm not saying COVID will get you, but I'm just from AC car to AC and all that. So, but Nigerians should, the thing is, the problem is getting, you know, is getting heightened. Nigerians should try and observe the safety protocols. That's the only way you can avoid this. Observe the safety protocols, wash your hands regularly, sanitize your hands probably, and then wear your nose mask when you're in public place.
Perhaps it's also important to I'll give you the privilege of what do governors have and presidents have? Immunity, because you're my guest. I won't respond to. But perhaps what's important here is that, you know, many people even need to get informed and be interested in the effect of this virus in the human body.
Yeah.
I think some of those things will probably also help us, not just to the scare information about it, but the love information about it, because you may not be as vulnerable as other people, especially now that people have to travel from place to place.
Exactly.
Well, the Guardian newspaper has a number of other stories on its front page, right under the nameplate. Of course, that picture is of the destruction of COVID-19 vaccine at Goza dump site in Abuja. Electoral bill. Senate halts action to override Buhari to consult reps. All of that you'll find also on the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Let's flip to Leadership newspaper. And the Leadership is interested in state of the nation. Convene reconciliation confab now. OBJ Sultan tell PMB. Story is on page 4. Say insecurity driven largely by social injustice and failed economy. 1999 Constitution lacks principles of justice, fairness, equality. Well, that's in quotes. You may want to find out who said it. Resign now. PDP reps tell president, stop politicizing insecurity. House Leader Dogoa says. All of that packed on the front page of the Leadership newspaper.
That's interesting. So many of us have been crying out, for the president to convene a national conference, whatever he calls it, national conference, in fact, to restructure this country. If we don't restructure this country before we go into the 2023 election, I don't know where the country is going. So many things are going wrong with the country. Banditry, terrorism, and what have you. In Nigeria today, lives of chickens, are more precious than human lives. In Sokoto the other day, at least 23 people were murdered, killed by bandits, and then burnt to ashes. I don't know what these people think. How in Kaduna, in Taraba, in Katsina, the president's home state, so many terrible things are happening. Innocent travelers being killed like chickens is unfortunate. And then we hear the presidency telling us that, it happens everywhere. Insecurity is not peculiar to Nigeria. I mean, you can't keep on living in denial. If we live in denial, you cannot solve any problem. The president has to take action immediately. There's no need taking reactionary action anymore. Take this war to the bandits.
But that's not to say that nothing is being done, is it?
Something is being done, but obviously the whatever is being done is not good enough. The bandits appear to have an upper hand. Why can't we equip our military? I understand that they are overstretched. Fine, they are overstretched, yes. But then if the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, puts it in his mind to equip these people, the soldiers, and then give directives, appropriate directives, I don't think the bandits, these are non-state actors. The state should have monopoly of violence. Okay. The state should be able to take this one to their dens. We know where they are. If they don't know, they should consult Gumi. Gumi knows where to get them. Obviously, where are we deceiving ourselves?
Well, still on the front page of the Leadership newspaper, banks slash cash withdrawal limit to 150,000 naira ahead of Yuletide. I wonder how that hits you. But there's a rider. No such policy from us. That's according to the CBN.
And so who do we believe? I don't know where the paper got the story from. If the CBN who is in charge is denying it, I mean, if I have, why will it be 150,000, for instance? Is it just from ATM? Or?
Well, I guess it depends on who is feeling it. Sometimes
that is when Nigeria need money more, and then you are restricting them. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, someone has to find out. Well, it's a finding of the paper itself. Let's just, check with them and find out wherever they are. Well, we have Daily Independent as well. Let's bring that up. Well, that's what you have on its front page. Senate to consult, that's on Electoral Act Amendment Bill. Senate to consult with reps, responds to Buhari in January. That's also on the front page of the Daily Independent. We've spoken a lot about that. Right under the picture. Yeah, right under the picture, FGOK's full implementation of new National Development Plan. Any hopes?
New National Development Plans?
This is the one that's supposed to go between 2021 and 2025, I think.
Oh, well, we are very good in initiating plans and policies. Let's see how it goes. Let's see if it will make any sense, if it will make any headway. I tell you, we had this, what we call NACS, National Anti-Corruption Strategy, that started from July 2017 to ended this year, this July, 4 years. And then its key stakeholders are planning to extend it to another 4 years. And then you ask yourself, the past 4 years, what did we achieve? Absolutely, if we achieve something very little, very minute, corruption still festers everywhere. Ministries, departments, and agencies of government Even the monitoring and evaluation committee that was set up by the government to monitor these things, the committee was not funded. I happen to be a member of that committee, incidentally. And it happens that it's just European Union, CDD, British Council, ROLAC, funding the program. The federal government, this thing is domiciled in the office of the Attorney General of the Federation. And till date, nothing much has come from that office. And you tell me you are fighting corruption. Why do you are fighting corruption? And over 1,400 convictions have been recorded. Fine. But the other way around, the corruption is fighting ferociously back. We gain one step ahead and then 2 steps backwards. So let's hope the National Development Plan will give us what we want. Otherwise, I have my doubts.
Well, perhaps it will be good to begin with that plan of government by looking at the details of the plan itself. Say, okay, what are the things that are included in it? Maybe that will give us some respite and we'll be able to breathe easy. Okay. Kashmir Igbokwe, former editor, Sunday Punch, member, editorial board, The Sun, and editor-in-chief, News Probe. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome, Maya.
Well, that's the papers. So what's on our agenda this morning? Let's find out after this break.